Welcome back, Vol fans. We're going to talk a little bit about the baseball team, basketball, and football. Tim's a little bit under the weather, so hopefully he feels better soon. But let's start off with the baseball team. 11-1 win yesterday over St. Bonaventure in run rule fashion, 7 innings. Speaking of that, I thought one of the funniest things I've seen in a while was Tony V getting upset when Manny Marin hit a grand slam. He went 3 for 4 yesterday, by the way. Our 8th of the season. Last year we broke the SEC record at 12, and we have 8 so far. That looks like we're going to just demolish that record and maybe set the NCAA record at 14. But Tony V getting upset because Manny Marin hit a grand slam in the game. And I think Tony doesn't like the run rule stuff. He's got so many guys he's trying to get in the game. He only got 2 pitchers in yesterday, and he's trying to get more guys in. And I think that's why he was so upset about it. He's wanting to get these guys some pitches. So today's game, I fully expect to see a lot of guys may not even pitch a full inning, and we switch them out. We got quite a bit of our bullpen left for the weekend, and some of these guys need some work. But we're rolling on 15-0, one of 3 teams, major teams, that are still undefeated. Florida State, Alabama still undefeated as of right this moment. But there was a poster on VolQuest that posted something this week I thought was very interesting. I think it was Vols 1024, I think is his ID. But it was comparing Liam Doyle, our transfer pitcher from Ole Miss, with Paul Skeens. I don't know if you saw Paul Skeens when he pitched for LSU, but probably the most impressive baseball season that you've ever had from a pitcher. It was unreal. I mean, the guy was pretty much an automatic W, and I don't think anybody's been more feared of a guy before. I mean, he was just unreal. But if you want to compare Doyle's stats to Skeens to this point, you could argue that they're better. I mean, similar competition as far as looking like Power 5, mid-major kind of opponents. But Skeens has one more strikeout, one less walk than Doyle at this phase of the season. But Skeens had given up 2 runs and 8 hits at this point, and Doyle's only given up 1 run and 6 hits. So, I mean, they're very comparable. And I just want to let people know how good Doyle's been. And then one Major League Draft guru come out this week and said that Doyle's currently his number 1 projected pick in the draft this coming year. That's unreal, man. We've Tony V keeps it rolling, with the transfers of Galvin Klein, Keelan, and you got all the freshmen, Andrew Fisher. Man, I tell you what, he just has it rolling. It's a great time to be a Tennessee fan, Tennessee baseball fan. I'll admit I watch them every game, and I've really enjoyed them. We got Florida coming up next weekend, and that's going to be a real test, another top 10 team. So we'll know exactly what we got following that series right there. Let's go on to let's talk a little bit about the football team. Not a whole lot out there, as far as the football team. We've only had one practice so far, and it was basically a walkthrough. But the biggest news probably is Ricky Gibson. He did show up for practice. The buzz as of right now is that he probably will be here for fall. That is not set in stone and won't be until after the portal season is officially ended, and that ain't until after spring practice. But the buzz is currently that he will be here. Not a whole lot else out there. I mean, it's when they're running around in shorts, there's not a lot of, info that come out there. But I will say this about the biggest thing I think, as far as news goes, football team is the analysts that we have added. Uh, the most recent guys, Alan Williams, um, defensive coordinator for the Vikings and Lions, and most recently for the Bears. To get a guy of his level is unreal. I mean, that's awesome to have a guy who's just an analyst, uh, probably here on probably not giving him a whole lot of money to be here. Probably going to keep him just for 1 year because guys like that don't stick around very long. But that is huge to have another guy like that on your team. And he coached. His specialty is defensive backs. So, and that's probably the position group that I feel we need the most help at. Uh, so, and that's another set of eyes as far as the coordinator goes. I know he's an NFL guy, but uh, he could help Banks make adjustments, help scheme. You know, you can't say enough about an addition like that. Speaking of that, something similar, we got Seth Luttrell, uh, former head coach for North Texas, offensive coordinator for Oklahoma. He was an up and coming guy who got fired at Oklahoma this year. You know, was that all his fault? I don't know. I mean, Oklahoma had some major offensive line issues, had a young quarterback. I guess time will tell, but he was kind of an up and coming kind of coach until this season. And he's a guy he knows Heupel. They played together, so there's some comfort level there to maybe challenge, Heupel and to be very forthcoming with thoughts and ideals. Um, so a huge addition. I mean, to get two guys like that, and then we also added John Bonamigo as a long-time NFL special teams guy. Um, very impressive guys that we've added to the staff. I mean, every year you're looking, did we improve our roster? Did we improve our staff? We improved our staff. We lost, Mike Eckler, and I hate to lose him, but we upgraded here. I do believe that. Adding Chop to that spot, and then adding Alan Williams on the defensive side, I think that's an upgrade. I definitely do, and that's huge. Let's talk about a little bit about the basketball team. 75-65 winner over South Carolina. Not our best game of the year by no means. Honestly, if South Carolina was a little hot shooting, we'd probably been in trouble in that game. They had a lot of open looks, just couldn't hit them. But pull out a win. Lanier had a good game. Uh, but I'll be curious to see where we're at come uh, seedings for the tournament. It looks like a 2 seed now. Lenardi has, I think, Florida and Alabama ahead of us. It's going to take us probably, my guess is we'd have to make it to the SEC championship game. They would probably have to lose their first games in the SEC tournament for us to have a shot at a 1 seed at this point. And I don't see that happening. And really, with the committee, they're hard to tell what they're going to actually do from 1 year to the next. They might count more of the tournament. Here lately, the tournament's been less of a big deal. So we'll see what they do, but looking at like a 2 seed, hopefully we have a good draw. We'll talk more about that when we have a little bit more information about that. But we got to win, though. That's the main thing, 75-65 win over South Carolina. Well, guys, that's about it. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, hit that notification bell. Really appreciate y'all. I really do. And guys, more than anything, go Vols.